What's up, Battlefield Play for Free? My name is ProfessorSnipe and welcome back to my channel. Today you're watching another gun review, and today we'll be reviewing the PKP Pecheneg for Battlefield Play for Free and your medic class. So the PKP Pecheneg is a Russian machine gun, and actually, you know what, before I start this off, I just want to give a small explanation. I was supposed to do the Uzi gun review, but I'm having problems with my engineer account. It's been like blocked or something. It's not really signing in with my correct password, so I'm just trying to, as I'm commentating this, well, after and before, I was trying to get access of my account, but you know, it wasn't really working and there's something wrong with it. So I'm just gonna try to get that out, and as soon as I get hold of my account, I'll just, you know, make the review and everything like I would normally do. So yeah, that's basically it. And for this gun review, nobody really recommended, or you know, I wanted to see this review. I'm not sure if anybody wanted to, but so that's why there isn't going to be any shoutouts for this video. And yeah, so the PKP Pecheneg is a Russian machine gun, and it was designed by I don't know how to pronounce this, so I'm just gonna put the word on the screen. So I'm just gonna call this TSN. Yeah, so I don't know what that is, but so it's a Russian designer and producer of weapons, and I put examples of weapons that they designed and produced for Battlefield Play 3, like the AS-Val and the VSS Vitores. So those are examples, and currently the Pecheneg is being used in the Russian army and the army of Kazakhstan, and that was an amazing kill. I just blew up the APC without even realizing that I blew it up until I got to this point. But yeah, so the Pecheneg is unlocked at level 27 for the medic class, and it's a pretty high unlock level. So is this gun worth it or not? Well, you're gonna have to see. After this review, I'll let you guys know with a verdict. So the Pecheneg has a rate of fire of 675 rounds per minute, and it's average for the light machine guns, and it's equivalent to something like the MG36. You get 80 rounds per magazine, and you get 2 magazines. So that's totaling to 160 rounds, which is not the greatest. Honestly, it's like the MG3 has the same amount of bullets, and it's not really that great. The reload time is 6.9 seconds, a bit higher than average, but you know, what can you do? It's a machine gun. Don't expect to have those really short reload times. This gun has recoil, but it can be controllable if you pop fire or you know how to control your recoil. And for the standard gun, which is what I'm using right now, so I'm not using any attachments right now, and for the standard gun, the damage you'll be hitting at close range will be 27 to 29, at medium range you'll be hitting 22 to 26, and at long range you'll be hitting around 17 to 21. So really, you can see that when you get to the long range compared to the close range, there's almost a difference of 10. So that's a pretty big difference, and I mean, I really highly don't suggest to use this gun at long range like I'm doing right now. You can tell that I'm failing miserably. It's really not recommended. The aim down sight time is the fastest in all the light machine guns with 0.2 seconds. Feeling almost like an assault rifle mixed with a machine gun and a submachine gun. It feels really amazing with this gun. When I aim down sight, next time just pay attention. The next time I aim down sight, you'll just realize that it's faster than usual. It's not like the other slow machine guns. So I'm going to be now telling you guys about the pros and the cons of this gun. So what I like about it, what I don't like about it, what's technically good about it, what's not good about it, you know, all of that stuff. But for the pros, whatever it's good, I'd say that this gun is very good at close and medium range. And the aim down sight times makes it perfect for close quarters combat engagements. So hipfire also feels very natural, so it can be used at close range for kills, and also the damage is pretty high. Honestly, it's pretty higher than I'd expect it to be. And one good thing about the reload time, I said that it was a slow reload time, but one really good thing about it has to be that it does not block your screen. So here I have 16 bullets, and I don't think I reload until I die. But next time I take a reload, just pay attention to how the gun reloads, and you'll realize that it doesn't block your screen like something like the QBB would, or something like, honestly, I don't remember all the machine guns. I don't really play the medic class that much, but an example would be like the QBB, or these other guns like the XM8R or BAR, I don't know, or the MG36. You know how these guns, you have to pull out the rounds and you don't lift the gun up and all of that stuff. But for this gun, you honestly just use it to, you just take out the, what's it called, the magazines from the side, and it doesn't really block your screen, which is really good. Now for the bads, the cons, I would say that the long reload time has to be annoying. The recoil is pretty weird also. I mean, it's controllable, but it's not the greatest recoil. I mean, I've seen better, but it's not the worst either. So, and the inaccuracy at long range. So this gun, I would highly suggest that you do not use this gun at long range because it gets really inaccurate. And with those 80 rounds, you know, you're going to be trying to focus on killing the enemy, and it won't work because you have limited ammunition. Then you have to reload, and all you're left is with another 80 rounds, which is pretty useless because you've been wasting those on somebody else, which is not really recommended to do so. And speaking of magazines, the 80 rounds per magazine and only 2 magazines, so that's 116 total, is really not impressive. I mean, the MG3, which is the standard gun, has the exact amount, so that's really something that kind of bothered me with this gun. And yeah, for how the gun looks, I mean, it looks similar to something like the PKM, and I think that they're like brothers type of a gun, so I don't think that they're manufactured by the same people and designed by the same people, but they look pretty similar, and I think that there's they might be some of the same guns, but like a different version of it. But this gun, compared to the PKM, I would say that it is better at some certain points, but I don't want to put too much emphasis because I haven't done the PKM review yet, so I wouldn't really compare them right now. But I would do a play for free versus episode on that if you guys are interested, because I haven't done that a video on that series for quite some time, and I excuse whichever server I was on. I just realized that it said no grenade killed. I just got one, but I know it's kind of like breaking the rules, but I'm pretty sure if you guys, I haven't told you guys, you wouldn't really realize, but that's just one thing. For any of you guys that actually caught that, I'm pretty sorry for that. I really didn't mean it, and I didn't realize the rules. So for recommended attachments, I would recommend any barrel or stock that reduces recoil and augments range. Since you will be lacking control at farther ranges, Viper mags or casket mags, you know, they both work really great. I mean, I feel like Viper mags can be really used well if you, for the damage. I mean, plus 3 damage is really good, and at close range you'll be hitting in the 30s, a minimum of 30 and a maximum of like 32 or something like that. So that's honestly really great. I mean, and plus you'll get those 24 rounds, so that's almost, I mean, that's just perfect. But if you decide to go with casket mags, you can for sure do that. I mean, I see no problem with casket mags. Casket mags are always a plus for guns that have high damage like this one and just need a buff in ammunition count. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. And also the Nemesis stock would be a good attachment. I would honestly use the Nemesis for this gun. I haven't tried it out, but since this gun, I was using medics on the Waze account, like the same as the L85 and the QBB. But I mean, for those for that particular his account, he didn't honestly have this gun permanently unlocked, so I couldn't use attachments, and I didn't want to spend his money because he worked hard on it and all of that. But honestly, I just rented it for a day and I used it. So I would recommend something like a Nemesis stock. I mean, it would work fine, I believe, because reducing recoil is always a good thing, because the less recoil you have, I mean, the more accurate your gun is, and the easier it is to control. But if you were to use Nemesis stock, I would definitely pair that up with something like Viper mags, just because I mean, you want to counterbalance the damage, the loss of damage. So it's recommended I would recommend putting Viper and Nemesis together. And for optics, I would recommend no optics. Now this is what is pretty controversial here, is because some people really play with optics and it's all they use. I mean, every gun they will put a sight on it. I mean, there are some guns I personally use just the iron sights, like the UMP45. That's a perfect example of how I use just the iron sights for that gun. But for this gun, the only problem with using the iron sights is this: the recoil, and some people may not like the actual iron sight. It resembles a lot like the PKM, and it's a bit, you know, too much too bulky and metallic because of all the gun compressed and everything. It doesn't feel too great, and especially when you fire this gun, I mean, when you're in the first person, you're actually using the gun. Some people, I mean, they really don't feel comfortable using the PKP or the Pecheneg with the iron sights. So that's just one thing, but the perfect example of why you should use the iron sights and is because of the aim down sight time. This gun has the fastest aim down sight time in all of the LMGs, so that's why I told you guys it almost feels like an SMG or an assault rifle. So it's like a mixture of both, so, or all three if you want to say. So that's what really makes it great. And if you added a rapid aim red dot, just by adding that, you're actually gonna make the time slower, but at 0.32 instead of 0.2. So that's why you should just use the optics, the iron sights. Just get used to them and everything, and I mean, they'll feel so fine. Like, look how I'm aiming there, like, just perfectly. I'm just like, you know, but honestly, this guy was really hard to control and he killed me or something like that. I don't remember this gameplay, but yeah. So that's just something for the attachments. If you ever decide to buy this gun permanently, that's just a small tip to actually get used to the optics, because I mean, you're gonna use this gun to its fullest potential if you possibly use the iron sights. So yeah. And for maps, what maps would I play this gun? I would use Karkand, Bajra, Sharky, Mashtur, any map that honestly promotes close to medium range engagements. So that's basically the PKP Pecheneg gun review. 38 and 7. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll see you guys in my next video.